Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Jhon. I'm excited to announce we have a special guest at the studio. Some of you guys might know him from World of Dance, but this man has been in the dance game for over 20 years. He has traveled the world competing in battles, teaching workshops, and judging competitions. His style and movement is very unique. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Poppin' Jhon. Now, this is the first time he's going to be teaching on YouTube, so this will be a real treat for you all. We're going to be doing this for the month of April. Every Thursday, we will release a new video by Poppin' Jhon teaching a new specialty move. Now, before we get started, if this is your first time on the channel and you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell to get notified on all the releases, and also leave your comments, let us know what else you would like to learn on this channel. Now, before we get started, let's check out this side glide one last time. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Poppin' Jhon here, coming at you from Jhon TV. Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to be breaking down a side glide for you. It's very detailed, can be kind of hard to pick up right away, but with a lot of repetition, you guys can get it down. Okay? Obviously, you can see that this logo is flipped around, and that's because this video is mirrored for you guys to follow along a lot easier. Okay? So, I'm going to be breaking down this glide. A few things is you really have to focus on the shift of your weight, all right? So it's really important to be able to shift your weight by keeping your upper body straight up and down, okay? So you don't want to go too side to side like this, all right? Let's break down the footwork first, and then we'll talk about the upper body, okay? So the first step that you really need to learn is a pivot like this, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm shifting from my heel to my toe simultaneously, all right? I'm just doing this shuffle to the side, okay? So I have one foot shifting from toe to heel and then heel to toe. At the same time, I'm going heel to toe, toe to heel. Okay, so it's basically the same thing on both sides, just at separate times. This is going to be on its toe, and this is on its heel, and we're going to pivot in. We're going to switch, pivot out, pivot in, pivot out, pivot in, out, pivot in, pivot out, heel, toe, toe, heel. You really want to get this down to where you don't have to think about it. If that's tricky for you, start like this: heel, toe, and then open one and try to bring them together, okay? And we are simultaneously doing both, okay? So if that's tough to keep your balance, one way that you can pick it up is to grab a chair. Sit in a chair and really focus on heel and toe and having them go the opposite, all right? Let's do this shuffle slowly, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really want to focus that when I'm on my toe here, I'm on my heel on the other foot. Okay, so it's always opposite. I'm going to pivot my heel, I switch to my heel, and I go to my toe. And I pivot out. Pivot in, pivot out. So you're always shifting from toe to heel. Okay? Let's go slow one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go back the other way. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's speed it up. We're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go back. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go back one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay, now we're going to add these slides in, okay? So we're going to kind of like cut this shuffle up with a few slides, all right? So one thing that we're doing is I'm starting with my toe up, okay? I'm gonna push my heel down to the ground, and at the same time, I'm gonna slide my other foot, okay? It looks like this. Boom, all right? So I am here on my toe. I'm gonna push my heel down to the ground like this. Push down, and at the same time, I have most of my weight on this leg, and I'm gonna push my leg to the side. Boom, all right? This is where the pivot comes in. We're gonna go like this on the heel here, and on the toe on this side. We're gonna go heel in, and then toe is gonna pivot the heel out here at the same time. Boom, okay? So we have toe, push, pivot, all right? Again, from the toe, I'm gonna bring my heel down, and I'm gonna push my foot to the side. Boom, and then I'm gonna pivot in. Boom, good. All right? Then I'm gonna pivot back out, and now we're back to where we started to do it again. Boom. I'm gonna pivot in, I'm gonna pivot out, and then we're back to our toe. We're going to push that foot again. Boom. Pivot, pivot, boom. Pivot, pivot, boom. Okay? Again. Okay, we're going to slide and then pivot again. And now we're back to this original position. Slide, pivot, pivot. Slide, pivot, pivot. Slide, pivot, pivot, slide, pivot, pivot. Okay? So at first it's going to be difficult to keep your balance. All right? A couple of little tricks is, one, try not to show where your balance is. Okay? So if I have my balance all the way on this leg, I don't want to have my body lean too far over that way. I want to try to keep straight up and down. All right? So we have our toe, bringing our heel down, push to the side, pivot. Now I'm starting to bring my weight to this side, okay? So I'm not showing too much like this. I just want to keep my upper body kind of straight up and down. So I'm doing this, slide, pivot, okay? Then I'm going to switch toe to heel, pivot, and I'm back to the toe here with the heel up. And then I'm going to push down, slide that other foot, back to the pivot, pivot, okay? At first, it's going to be tough to keep your balance. You really focus on each step, and they'll start to eventually blend together, okay? So let's try to go slowly with those steps, all right? So we have our toe. We're going to push our heel down to the ground. At the same time, we're going to be sliding our foot to the side. Boom. Okay? Now we pivot in, pivot out, and we have our toe back with our heel up. Boom. Pivot, pivot, slide. Pivot, pivot, slide. Pivot, pivot, slide. Pivot, pivot, slide. Okay? So a couple of pointers is you're always going to have to kind of correct your steps. Because if you start to like go where this foot's not straight, you're going to start to fall into a circle glide. Okay, so we want to really try to keep our path straight. And that's where really learning this shuffle helps, because if you start to mix up the positioning of your foot, then you start to send your feet in a different direction. I want to keep this line straight. So I'm always kind of correcting my foot that's leading. If I start to fall out of balance or fall out of line, I really want to correct it and get back to that straight line, okay? So the same thing applies when you're doing these slides and pivots. If I slide out of line, I have to correct it to keep this straight line. So let's do this slowly a few times. We have toe with the heel up. We're going to push, pivot, pivot, 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 push. Okay? Again, we got our toe up. We're going to push our heel down, slide our foot out of the way. Boom. One. Pivot. Pivot. Boom. Pivot. Pivot. Boom. Pivot. Pivot. Boom. Pivot. Pivot. Boom. Pivot. Pivot. Okay? The more you repeat this step over and over and over, I've probably done this step a billion times just to get it smooth. And it really starts to look like you're sliding, you're above the floor, you're gliding across the floor. Okay? So slide, pivot, pivot, 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 slide. Okay? Again, slowly. Here, push down. See that? I'm pushing my foot to the ground and I'm sliding that foot at the same time. It almost looks like this space gets pushed to that foot. Boom. Okay? Now I'm going to pivot. And during this pivot, I'm shifting my weight. Okay? So I'm doing this to this at the same time that I'm doing this pivot. Watch. Boom. Okay? So see how I'm shifting my weight to this foot? Now I have most of my weight on this foot. I can pick this one up. But I don't want to show it too much. Okay? So I'm here with my toe, push my heel down, slide, pivot while I'm shifting weight. Okay? Then I'm going to pivot again, boom, and look where my weight ended up on this foot. So now I can slide this other foot out of the way. Boom. Here, here. Honestly, that's like the trick of this move. You're hiding where your weight is. All right? If I'm showing you where my weight is the whole time, there's not much of an illusion. Okay? So see how you can see my weight shifting from side to side? This foot, this foot, this foot, this foot. Okay? There's not much of an illusion. But once I keep my body straight up and down and I'm only shifting the weight with my torso straight up and down, it starts to have an illusion. Boom. Okay, so see how this starts to really, really look like I'm floating across the ground, right? So I'm pushing, pivot, pushing, pivot. See how my upper body is not showing you where my weight is? Now, I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like when everything goes super smooth, okay? And I'm going to really mask where my weight is, okay? You'll really see this illusion, how it comes together, all right? So here it goes. Okay? The more you do this, the smoother it gets, and the quicker you'll want to go, okay? Because the slower you go, it's a lot more difficult to keep your balance, all right? So let's do this with counts. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So each full glide is a 4 count. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So going that slow, it's difficult to keep your balance. But in order to get those positions down and really get the pattern down, let's keep it that speed for now, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna add one little move. This is way more advanced. Obviously, once you get this first one down, you can start to add little things to spice it up or make it a little bit more original or your own flavor, okay? So what I do is I slide my foot, and then when I'm doing this pivot, I pick my foot up and I cross my legs, okay? This is really tough. And now, I'm gonna do the same move, but with my legs crossed, okay? So this heel goes down to the ground, and this foot that's in back is gonna pivot and slide at the same time. Okay, so check this out. It goes slide, pivot, I'm gonna step across, boom. So when I'm in this position, I'm gonna bring my heel down to the ground, and at the same time, I'm gonna pivot this back leg and send it over, okay? So it goes shifting, pivot, I come in front to the toe, and then I pivot this back foot while I'm bringing that heel down, and then I'm back to this pivot again, okay? So it's just adding this step across to here. And then I'm basically doing this move, but with my foot over here. See that? Okay? So I'm stepping across, and I'm doing that move with my foot crossed over. So I'm like this. I start normal, push, pivot, step across, push, pivot, step across, push, pivot, step across, okay? This is way more advanced, but you'll eventually get to where you can start adding different ingredients into your glide to switch it up, okay? So we have push, pivot, step across, here, okay? So what I mean by step across, I'm here, and then you'll see that I shift my foot to the side, and I put my toe down, okay? So I'm like this, here, pivot, step across, boom. Now I'm bringing this heel down to the ground while I'm pivoting that back heel, okay? Boom, and I'm sliding this foot over here. Pivot, step across, pivot, step across, okay? So, let's see what this looks like full speed, all right? Okay, so that's where you get this kind of like continuous motion sidewinder like glide, okay? So I'm here, shifting, stepping across. So my feet are always moving. This is where you can kind of see the difference between this glide, where you can kind of like count them, where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. The sidewinder look, it's kind of just a continuous motion. You can't really like see where one ends and the other begins. And that's something that I really like to add into my glides. We're gonna do one glide in 2 counts, okay? It's gonna go like this, 1, 2, okay? Goes 1, 2. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay? You really, really have to repeat this step over and over and over to get it super smooth, all right? A couple more times, full speed. Check it out. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go again. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? All right, so I want you guys to know that just because you watch this video, you're not gonna have it as smooth as I have it. I've been doing this move for years, all right? Lots of repetition. I promise you the key is repetition. The more you do this move, the better you get at it. And it's not an overnight thing, so really put the time in and the energy, focus on each step, and I promise that it will eventually come, okay? Poppin' Jhon here. Thank you guys for watching. Have fun practicing, all right? Peace.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial by Poppin' Jhon. Keep working on that side glide. Those type of specialty moves take a lot of repetition and time to perfect. Remember, we will be releasing new tutorials by Poppin' Jhon every Thursday for the rest of the month, so keep perfecting the glide until we work on the next move. If you want more information on Poppin' Jhon, I will put all of his social media links in the description box. If this is your first time on this channel and you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell to get notified on all the releases. Also, leave your comments in the comment box. Let us know who else you would like to see teach on this channel and what else you would like to learn on this channel. Until next time, I'll see you on the next tutorial.